Vamos. Hello, both of you. How are we?
Not
Good
too bad,
afternoon,
yourself?
Jay. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Rhys, you're back.
I know. Long time no see.
I know it is. Have you missed me?
Of course, mate.
Tell us quickly in 10 seconds what you've been up to in lockdown.
So pretty much in lockdown, while our football camps have been postponed,
You've got
I've
5
been
seconds left.
working at Tesco's.
Well done. So well done. You're going to only get this
Yeah,
once.
he deserves a round of applause.
You're getting this once off me. 5
I
seconds.
mean,
Well done for keeping the nation going, Rhys.
That's all right.
But the main question is, have you missed me?
Of course, mate. Missed doing the coaching.
Thanks, Rhys. That's really kind of you. You're not getting a pay rise. Anyway, moving on. All right. So today we're going to talk about. We don't know what this season is going to happen. Although I must add that Elliot was very quick to comment when PSG were awarded the title yesterday. We won't.
yeah.
We won't go there because we're going to spend all day doing that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about. So we'll forget about this season because we don't know what's going to happen. Let's talk about next season. Who is going to finish higher? So as you can see, I'm wearing my United shirt. Obviously a Man United fan. Elliot's got Tottenham, and Rhys is wearing fancy dress Everton. Okay. So it's very simple. We're going to have a quick 15-minute debate. Otherwise, we go on too long. I'll put the time on. Which club is going to finish higher next season and why? Who wants to go first?
Including United or just that of Spurs and Everton? Or do
No.
all three?
All three of us. All three.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to put their case across for their club?
Cool.
I mean, I'll step up first if you like.
This will
If
be
you like.
interesting considering you wanted
Yeah.
Jose at the
No.
World Cup.
Well. I know. Well. Obviously, after yesterday's discussion, which is also on the channel, so go and watch that if you haven't, where we talked about Jose. It'll be an interesting season, I think, just in terms of, personnel and all that. If he brings in the right personnel, I think, Rhys, I mean this in no disrespect to
That's
Everton
fine, mate.
whatsoever, but in terms of pushing up there, I think, obviously, Ancelotti is the manager now, isn't he?
Yeah. Ancelotti.
Yeah.
And I think they have improved since he's come in. So next season, I expect them to do better than they started this season. So I think they'll be pushing up there, but maybe not quite into
As high as what United
Europe,
and Tom
yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
Well done, Rhys.
That's realistic. That's what we like. We
Rhys,
like
mate.
realism.
Rhys, that's the first time you've been honest about Everton. I remember when Ancelotti was appointed. I remember when Ancelotti was appointed, and you told me you would finish in the top 4. What's happened?
Sorry, he hasn't got his goggles on. Everyone's goggles are off today, I'm hoping. Put them in the side.
No, you've got to put your goggles on for this one.
Day.
That's the problem.
Nah.
Goggles on for this one.
I think if we look at it in terms of like the 3 squads that we've got, say we took the same squad now into next season, I think there's a few players from, maybe I'm thinking 2 from the Everton squad, which I would like in the Spurs squad. I'm thinking Digne, the left back, who's I think amazing, came from Barca, I think, and maybe Andre Gomez in midfield.
And you reckon,
obviously that horrific injury, but.
And you reckon that Everton's left back, who goes forward a lot, is going to go and play under Jose, who won't let him go forward?
No, I'm not saying like we're going to sign him, but if we could merge the 3 squads together from Everton, those 2 players, I would take it at Spurs. And to be fair, it's not many from United I'd take. So.
Oh dear, mate.
There'll be a couple that I'd take.
What? So not Paul Pogba on a good day. Luke Shaw.
No.
Harry Maguire improves your defence straight away. Marcus Rashford. Anthony Martial.
Don't need wingers.
Bruno.
Martial's been a bit off it.
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno I'd take.
David De Gea.
Potentially. I feel too far. I forgot he was there. So.
David De Gea.
Nah, Luis is better.
Oh, do me a favour. That's no way.
I mean, to be fair, Lloris has probably been the best keeper out of the 3.
Yeah, agreed. I like this kid.
Pickford's been the worst. De Gea hasn't been good.
Rhys.
Me and Rhys are going to get on, I can tell.
Rhys, mate, if you're taking Hugo Lloris over De Gea, you are in dream world.
This
Honestly,
season,
we're basing it off this season.
He's been poor.
No, basing it off this season, I think all 3 keepers have been terrible.
Oh, Lloris was injured.
Yeah, Lloris was injured
No,
from
but I
October
also,
through to
but I
January.
also
Mhm.
think Hugo hasn't had a good 2 years. If you look at his season highlights, the amount of times he's dropped the ball in the net, and I know De Gea is the same in the last year, but then how many times has De Gea won the Man United Man United Player of the Year in the last 5 years compared to
Yeah, but
Hugo?
that
winning
shows
the,
something, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
yeah,
For
that he's,
keepers winning your best player,
and I
you're
get
not doing something right.
no, but I agree.
I didn't see that as like
However, you don't see Real Madrid going for Hugo Lloris, do you?
yeah, but it was best of a bad bunch.
Anyway,
Do you know what I mean?
carry on about
Yeah.
your avatar.
Yeah, no, I
why
think.
Tottenham will finish higher.
All right, I think it'll be close between United and Tottenham. I think personally, I'm not saying that Spurs are going to go and win the league or United are going to win the league, because I don't think that'll happen. I think maybe we're looking at third, fourth, a potential battle. What are you laughing
I
at?
think me was more realistic,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Saying that Everton finished top 4.
No,
Under Jose, are you kidding
not
me?
at all. Yeah, no. I think
Rhys,
City
mate, come
and
on, you've got to
City
laugh
and
at this.
Liverpool are
Nah.
just City and Liverpool are they're
Oh,
still there,
Of course they
right?
are. Of course they are.
right? So then that leaves, Chelsea has already signed Ziyech, which is a world-class signing in my opinion. I think he's amazing from Ajax.
Agreed.
So I think that's going to make them a little bit better. So they'll be a bit up there. Arsenal, they'll probably be like Europa League spot.
No,
So
I don't
then-
fancy Arsenal.
So I think third or fourth, and I think it'll be
Oh.
either it'll be United Spurs or it'll be Spurs United.
But then what about Wolves?
Nah,
Really?
yeah, they play good football, but I don't think they're quite, not quite.
Rhys, do you have anything to say about this Tottenham argument? Because I'm laughing at this.
I'd probably disagree with Tottenham getting top 4.
I agree with
In
you
my
there,
personal
Rhys.
opinion.
Rhys, I agree with you
Oh
there.
my god!
I'd say Tottenham maybe 5th, maybe 6th.
Right,
in a way.
I don't know if you agree with me, Rhys, but this is my argument for Tottenham. If Jose's still at the wheel, considering the problems he's already having now, and all the problems he had at United.
This is a Jose rant again. This is
No.
nothing to do with.
You have to let me finish. If Jose is at the wheel, you're not finishing top 4. However, if someone like Poch comes back, or you get someone else, then I would probably say you're going to finish top 4. If you bring in another centre back or two and another striker, and you can keep Dele Alli. I honestly think,
very kind.
right, and even if Jose was at Everton, and if Jose was still at United, and someone asked me, would you finish top 4? My answer would still be no.
He took you to second place.
Yeah, second.
Playing not good football.
6th, then second, and then a disaster first half of last season.
And then he just he got. Did he get sacked or did he leave?
He got
I can't remember
sacked.
United.
He got
Did
booted. He got booted.
Yeah.
And then you have to also think, the last half of his Chelsea tenure, dreadful. He picked on the doctor, and the Chelsea fans then turned on him. He just causes a stain wherever he goes.
But I think that obviously because we haven't been playing because of the whole pandemic, which is happening at the moment, he didn't start very well. I totally see that. We picked up 3 points against City, which was massive. Wasn't a good game to watch. Yeah, it's more than you've done with Parsons. We beat him in the Champions League.
Are you on about City? Because we've beat him 3 times this season, maybe 4 actually.
Yeah.
I'm just staying out of this conversation, beating City.
We've taken 6 points off them in the league this year.
Yeah. Well, we've only played them once. We took 3, so yeah, we would have beat him a second time, I'm sure. But what I'm saying is, obviously, because this season's been cut short in his first kind of spell as the manager, I guess, when he comes back in, it'll probably feel like we've got a new manager again, if you know what I mean. Because
no, if you want to fall asleep, John,
you're not right. Hang on a minute. Let me speak. Let me finish, as you said. Let me finish, because he's had. How long have we been in lockdown now? Like, I don't know, nearly
about 10 years,
months, 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
10 years.
To be fair, it'll
Feels
probably be
like
the same for, I imagine, Ancelotti, because he got a new squad when he came in. played the games. Obviously, Everton did quite well, I think, when he came in, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And now he's had all this time. It's probably felt like another pre-season. So when the season starts again, if it does, it'll probably feel like a brand new season. So yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, Harry Kane was injured. It's going to come back. One thing that's straight, I think, that's going to change for probably the way that Jose will want to play, because we've had to play wingers up front. We've played Dele up front, who's obviously not a striker. But yeah, I think it's promising, especially with hopefully a good transfer window next summer. If we're talking about next year, I think potentially it could be. I'm saying the word "could" because I'm optimistic. It could be good, but
don't be under Jose.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're not optimistic, then what's the point? What's the point?
Well, let me go back to a point that Johnny made yesterday, and this is taking my United Ollie Solskjaer glasses off and Jose glasses off. Johnny said yesterday that Jose came in, he looked refreshed, he looked lovely, but now he looks like mopey again. He doesn't look happy.
Could shave his hair off.
No, but he just looks so miserable, and that's the top. He looks miserable at Tottenham. He looked miserable at United. He looked miserable in the last 6 months at Chelsea. He just got a chip on his shoulder. And I've always said this about Jose, right? And I don't know if you agree with me or not. It's nothing to do with Tottenham or United or Chelsea. I actually think he's got a massive chip on his shoulder, a massive grudge, ever since he got sacked from Real Madrid. Because for him, that was the biggest job. He always wanted that. He wanted to get one over Barcelona and Pep, which he didn't. And also, the reason why he was brought into Real Madrid, I don't know if you know, was to win La Decima, the number 10 for Real Madrid, Champions League, right? He didn't deliver that. Who delivered it the season after? Ancelotti. First season, he delivered it. And I think ever since ever since Jose got the sack from Madrid, he's just got this massive chip on his shoulder. That's my
gone downhill ever since.
Yeah, that's my personal opinion. I just think anywhere Jose goes, he leaves a stain. He picks fights with everyone. If you guys had Poch at the wheel right now, I would say you're finishing top 4. I think he's proven in the Premier League.
Yeah, but would you agree that
100%.
at the time, looking at the end of last season and the way we started this season, if that was any other manager, you would question it. I think it wasn't the case of I don't think he wanted to. You wouldn't get rid of a winning manager, right? No matter what club you're at, you don't get rid of a winning manager. So there is a point and there's a line where you got to think maybe he was there 5 or 6 years, maybe.
Yeah. So what? So Alex was there for 30 years.
Yeah, but what I'm saying was he was winning for a club which was progressing in terms of we were probably a mid-table team, and then the Crouchy goal against City pushed us for our first Champions League, and then from there we've kind of built from that into a challenging top 4 team. But I'm not saying title winning team because we're nowhere near that yet. But what I'm saying is, for a club that wants to keep going, you're going to need to win the games to be up there. And if any manager's not winning the games, that's when. I mean, Everton have been through God knows how many managers in the last 3 years.
Been through God knows.
So, and they're a club which
every season.
Yeah, they spent so much money. I think the summer before last.
The 2017-2018 season, we spent, I think it was, God knows how much it was.
Triple digits, yeah, it was ridiculous. But
I think players we didn't need either.
Yeah,
or that
part of it does come down to, if Ollie had lost 10 games on the spin, right? Even you might like him as a manager, but
no, there's no like.
The top dogs,
it's love.
All right, the top dogs are thinking, hang on a minute, if we can't do this, we can't reach our goals, we don't get the money and all that. He's out the door. So
hang on, I'll come on to United. I'll come on to United and Ollie in a minute. I've got a strong case, but no, do you know what? I agree with you regarding Tottenham. I see what you're saying. I just disagree that you'll finish top 4 with Jose. I think if you had any other manager, you're finishing top 4. I just think he picks fights for everyone.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
Danny Rose, he's already picked a fight with. Me personally, I don't think Harry Kane's happy with Jose being there. I think he prefers Poch.
Those goggles are slowly sliding back down.
No. And what's his name? Is it Ndombele, whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Jose's picked a fight with him as well. I just think it's just a stain. And I just think that if you keep... And also, like what Johnny said yesterday, if you're going to bring in a new manager, you back him with money, and he's not been backed either. So if you're not going to back Poch, you're not going to back.
He's only had a January though.
No, but
everyone says January is like. I know United brought over Fernandes, but it's that like it's a window, but it's not really a window because people are more reluctant to obviously dish out their players. But
my final argument is, if you're not going to give Poch money, and if you're not going to give Jose money, you really think Jose's not going to kick up a fuss if Levy doesn't give him money in the summer, because he will kick a fuss up, and there'll be every excuse under the sun will come out from Jose's mouth, like he did at United.
Yeah. But I think, as I said yesterday, in my final conclusion, in 3 years' time, if he leaves with a stain, but he's left with some sort of silverware, which is what I'm not saying it's got to be a Premier League title or a Champions League. I'm talking like it could be an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup if that really counts. But if he leaves having done something positive in terms of the way the club want to go, then I ain't too fussed, to be fair.
No, I get that. I get the trophy one, but the problem is, when he leaves a stain, it's not a little stain; it's a big stain, and then you have to spend 2 transfer windows cleaning up that stain, like Ollie's done.
Yeah.
Rhys, any final thoughts on Tottenham apart from laughing?
No, I agree with everything Elliot said about Tottenham, about what Jose Mourinho is doing. But the only thing I disagree on, which is the same with you, Jamie, I disagree that you'll be finishing top 4 as of next season if it goes ahead.
Why?
I just don't think that, to be honest, Tottenham won't have as good of season because, like you said, Jose Mourinho with a chip in his shoulder ever since he left Real Madrid, it just keeps on going downhill.
Yeah.
And it all depends on the players that they bring in, pretty much, because... To be honest, their back line, apart from the Tanganga at right back, everyone in that back line, I think, in my opinion, personally, is pretty weak.
Yeah, I agree. And I think
Dele Alli, I haven't really rated at all.
Oh dear, that's a big statement.
Blimey, Riley.
And do you know what? I agree with Rhys, and there's one more point I'm going to raise with Tottenham, same as Rhys, is it's all good buying players, but you also need to keep some of them, because as much as we laugh about it, there is big transfer rumour about Harry Kane leaving, and if he leaves, you are not finishing top 4 unless you replace him with a world-class striker. That's my final point in Tottenham.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
We've got to be careful. I agree with that. I think what Rhys was saying about our back 4 before how have we been talking about Tottenham for? We've got to move on to your potential little clubs. But I think I completely agree. If we don't deliver, then our players who want to achieve more might have to look elsewhere. And I'm not saying that is United or that is City or whatever, but it can happen, obviously. So we shall see. But I'm hopeful.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's a good case. I will say one more because it's just popped up to my head, and it's not with my United goggles on or anything. And Arsenal had the same problem. You're also paying for that stadium again. You're still paying for that stadium.
Yeah.
So therefore, transfer fees are going to be restricted.
Everton are building a new stadium, aren't they still? Or are going to start?
Yeah, but they've now got a multi-billionaire owner, so it's different.
Well, I'm sure these things were all calculated. Do you think Jose would have really would have wanted it if there was no money?
God
knows. That's the way I look at it, right?
I just think he wants to prove a point to United and Chelsea.
Well, if he proves that point, then I'm happy.
Fair enough to him.
Right, Rhys, give us the case on Everton. Let's all have a giggle.
Well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I personally don't think that Everton will finish higher.
Rhys, no, you are stating a case with your Everton hat on why you think they're going to finish higher. How many times have I had to listen to you on football camps telling me that United would finish lower than Everton? And what happens at the end of the season? We finish above you. How many times have I got to listen
every single season, mate? Since 2016, it's happened every single season.
How many times have I got to listen to Ancelotti's a saviour and it will finish top 4 this season?
Too many, mate.
Come on, come on. I want you to persuade me that Everton are going to finish higher.
Like I said with Tottenham, it's all dependent on who we get in the transfer windows.
Cheap shot at Tottenham. I like it. Keep going.
Because Ancelotti's a class manager and all that, but with the defence we've got, as in Holgate, Mina, Keane, and Pickford, I just don't think that we're as solid as other backlines. And without a solid defence, we won't be able to push up for Europa League or Champions League or whatever.
So basically, Rhys, to sum up, you're not going to finish above us without any argument.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that took, 36 seconds?
No, yeah.
Rhys,
36 seconds I think, about my team.
Personally, I think bringing Ancelotti to Everton is, massive. In terms of the intention of... This is me, this is literally... My goggles are all the way over there.
But I agree with you, Elliot. I was just about to say, Rhys, if I was going to build a case on Everton, Ancelotti would just be my case.
Yeah. At the moment, I think he's a bit too big for the club, but I think he'll bring up the club.
Another shot at Everton. I like it. No, do you know what? I am. Part of me is jealous that Ancelotti's there, because if you go through my Facebook statuses for the last 4 years, apart from when Ollie turned up, it was either get Ancelotti in, Zidane, or Klopp before he turned up at Liverpool.
Or Poch.
No. Honestly, you ask anyone who knows me really well, I wanted Ancelotti at United, and I think he oozes class. He oozes class. Jose doesn't. Right? Ancelotti, he's just a gentleman. Everything about him. And also, if you in an interview done, Cristiano Ronaldo said, "Who is your 3 favourite managers you've worked with?" It was Sir Alex and Ancelotti. That's who he said. And when Ancelotti got the sack by Real Madrid, Ronaldo was raging. So I think if Everton are going to do
it's good for the Premier League, though. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And
in terms of it's good.
And I think that if you give Ancelotti money, you are going to finish very high.
He'll spend it well.
Yeah, I think
Ancelotti's trying to rebuild. Yeah, go on.
No. You go, mate. This is your club. You talk.
Pretty much. With Ancelotti, he's trying to rebuild the club that we once were, because recently...
Once were?
Well, like you said, with the managers we had... Shut up.
No, to be fair, when Lukaku was there, Leighton Baines was in his prime, that team was trouble. They beat United many a time. I'm sure they beat Spurs.
Look,
Tim Cahill up top. That team was good.
I don't care if Everton beat us 5 years in a row, as long as if we finish higher and win the title or something.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you go on your away day at Everton. Everton was a fixture back in the day that you go, we might drop points.
Challenging to go to.
Whereas now it's pretty much.
I wouldn't say all the time.
No, that's unfair. But I agree. I think they used to be a really good solid team. So it's coming.
So Rhys, what's your
personally?
Sorry, Rhys, go on.
Yeah. So personally, I think ever since David Moyes left Everton, I think we've gone slightly downhill.
Thanks for that.
As in the players we brought.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate.
I think, Rhys, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think your case for Everton, I don't know why I'm making a case because your case was so poor, but your case for Everton finishing above both United and Tottenham is purely down to Ancelotti. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he's a quality player. And I think is it Gomez, the one that got injured?
Andrea Gomez.
And I think if he has a good season, I think you could be onto a winner there. And I think Ancelotti needs to be back to money.
Yeah, he needs to be backed and needs to keep some of the players in, like Richarlison, Digne.
Oh, I forgot about Richarlison.
Sidibe.
Me too.
And Bernard, probably.
Oh, I forgot about Bernardo as well.
Like, we need to get rid of some players. Personally, I want Sigurdsson out. He just hasn't really clicked onto it.
Oh, dear.
That's fair.
All right, what's your summary then, Rhys, of Everton?
The summary overall about where we'll finish. I'll say it 100% on the chest and all that. I don't think we're finishing above United.
Correct?
I'll say it now. I think we'll challenge against Tottenham for a spot.
Dear. Oh, that's a dig.
But that's all dependent on how well they do in the season. Like, as I mean by that is like, is their defence still going to be solid, or is it going to be trouble like it was this season towards the back end of it?
Who, Everton or Tottenham? I'm confused.
Tottenham.
Ah, okay. Is that your case done, or have you got anything to add?
I'd pretty much say that's my case done. It's really just if we get the players for it and improve our squad slightly in the positions that we need to, I think we can move higher and probably push up and even challenge those higher places.
Yeah, I think they'll get to that level Wolves are at the moment, and
Yes.
like they're like, if you was to guess who would get that last Europa League spot, I think like Wolves are in that spot at the moment. I think a good window for Everton could push them up there 100%.
I think the problem is, right, I think you've got City, Liverpool, and then you've got about 6 or 7 teams below that who could finish in either second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh. That's the problem. That's how competitive the league is. All right, shall I move on?
Which is what we want.
Shall I move on to these boys?
All right, hang on a minute. I want to get cozy.
That's it then.
Get cozy, because this is a strong argument. Right, where do I start? Number 1.
I'm going to grill it.
Number 1. Ollie's at the wheel, mate. Right, he's had 2 transfer windows, I think, and already he's turned it around. And what I mean by turning around is he's getting rid of the deadwood that Jose brought in. He's also having to clean up the mess that Jose, Louis van Gaal, and David Moyes left. Right, there's still players there from Sir Alex's reign. Phil Jones, Chris Smalling. It's embarrassing, right?
Chris Smalling's at Roma.
No, but he's on loan.
Oh, he's on loan.
Don't give me that back to Hayes. World class. Anyway, so Ollie has look at the players he's brought in, right? Wan-Bissaka already improves our defence. Harry Maguire, he had not a great first half of the season, but he's come on now. Bruno Fernandes, you can't argue that. That man is what we've been missing for the last 10 years since Scholes retired. I'm trying to think who else he brought in. I know there's maybe 1 or 2 more. Oh, yes.
Dan James.
Dan James, that's it. Unbelievable player, right? Quick. He's not had a great second half of the season. Oh God, we've had our 10-minute time up for some reason. That's a bit weird. Okay. We might have to do another video straight after this for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, so he's brought in young players, very young players, quick players, and we're not parking the bus. If you watch us, we play good football now, and actually we attack from the front. We're unbeaten in our last, I think it's 13 games, winning 11, keeping 8 clean sheets. And I know some of them are Europa League games. I get that. I'm not stupid. However, if we get to the Europa League final, because I don't think we'll lose to the majority of the teams left in the Europa League final, apart from Wolves. I think they would cause us problems. I think if he wins a trophy like the Europa League, yes, it's the Mickey Mouse Trophy, but winning breeds confidence. And if you win a trophy, he's already won 1 more than Ancelotti at Everton, 1 more than Jose at Tottenham, 1 more than Arteta at Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. And I think as well, one of the things that Ollie has that Jose doesn't at Tottenham and Ancelotti doesn't have at Everton is he has the fans behind him 110% billion. He's a club legend. He is an absolute club legend, what he did for playing-wise. And also, you look at the mood. When Jose left, there was a lot of speculation that Poch would come in and blah, blah, blah and all this. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in as caretaker manager was a complete... No one saw that coming. And when he came in, he went on like a 14-game winning streak in the Premier League. Then his form dipped. You've also got players left, right and centre coming out saying how much they love playing for Ollie, such as Luke Shaw, who hated Jose Mourinho, playing under Jose. You've got Paul Pogba, who's come out, and you know what the feud he's had with Jose. And I know that Pogba, if it was up to me, Pogba would be going in the summer, but only for 80 million, nothing less. he's come out and said that he enjoys playing under Ollie. Rashford, there was a quote the other day, I don't know if you've seen it, but Rashford turned around the other day and said it was difficult playing under Jose, but he loves playing under Ollie because Ollie gets him. Martial has come out and said he loves playing under Ollie. Harry Maguire, the captain, he said how much he loves it. So actually, Ollie, as much as Jose was a world-class manager, and Ancelotti, I still think he's a fantastic manager, I think Ollie has brought in the right players. You know, we've been crying out for right back since Gary Neville retired. That's 10, 15 years ago. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a quality signing. Even Jamie Carragher said he's the best one-on-one defender in the Premier League. I still think we're short of probably 2 or 3 players to challenge. We're not going to challenge for the title. No way. I completely understand that. But I do think that because Ollie's had a full season, if we continue this season, he'll have a full season over Ancelotti and Jose as well. And he's had 2 transfer windows. And I think the United board are behind him as well. I think that's the difference. The United board are now behind a Man United manager, which they weren't fully behind Jose, Louis van Gaal, David Moyes. And actually, like I said, the United fans love Ollie. We all want him to succeed. So I personally don't think. So when we went on the losing streak near the back end of last season, after our 14-game winning streak, there might have been a few fans on Twitter going, "Oh, we want Poch, blah blah blah," but at full time at games at Old Trafford, there was never a boo for Ollie, although there were boos for Jose and Louis van Gaal and David Moyes. And when you boo players and the team, it then it then comes into their minds, doesn't it? The nervous playing then comes in. So I think Ollie having the fans behind him is a huge advantage. You know, I just think we look a far better team now. We look more organised. You know, he's brought in Michael Carrick in the backroom staff. He's brought in Mick Phelan, who was Ferguson's assistant. I just think we look so much better attacking-wise. We look better defensively now. We're trying to get rid of the deadwood, and I don't think Ollie's the type who's just going to keep someone. You know, I think he's desperate. As bad as it sounds, he's desperate to get rid of Phil Jones. You know, Ollie gets the club. Ollie gets what it's like to play for the club. So if you're not good enough, you're not staying. It's as simple as that. And also, Ollie's worked under Sir Alex Ferguson as a player, so he would have taken things from Sir Alex Ferguson. I just don't think, me personally, if we have another good transfer window, like we have the last 2 transfer windows, I think it'll be Chelsea and United to challenge for the top 4. And whoever would be 3rd or 4th. I think Leicester have been excellent, but I think the likes of James Maddison will be leaving in the summer. And there's big rumours he'll be coming to United or Arsenal or Chelsea or City. And I think if Leicester lose 2 or 3 of their key players, they're not finishing the top 4 next season. And I think it'll be United or Chelsea to finish 3rd or 4th. And then the rest for 5th, 6th, 7th, it'll be between Tottenham, Everton, Wolves, Sheffield United, and then Leicester. And that's my strongest case. The players we've brought in, the fans are completely behind Ollie, 110%. And also, he's not a mopey so-and-so like Jose. His energy, like Ollie's upbeat. You never see him really not smiling. And that really, you know, that really goes on to the players. I don't know how long we've got left on the time. Does it say on your 2?
Mine says I've been in here 36.
All right, we've got 3 more minutes. So then I'll end it and then we'll do another one quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Right. But no, that's my main argument for Ollie. The fans are behind him. We've had 2 great transfer windows and he's brought in some great players. He knows the club inside out and he won't take garbage. And I just think we just look a better team now under him. That's my argument. Do you want me to end it now and start a new one so then you can fire it at me? All right.
Yeah.
I'll end it. We'll resume it in 2 minutes.
All right. Okay.
All right.